There are a lot of good things to protest over. Poverty, healthcare, human rights, all of those are good examples. But what about the price of cheese? This is The Vault, and this is the time IWU students occupied Wildcat.
Post-it notes, cheese, signs with blatant statements on them, and protesters. It is clear some IWU students are not happy.
All right, thanks. Just wear one wherever you go.
Pioneer had raised, they had signed I think a 10-year contract with the university. There were multiple price increases for meals. The extra slice of cheese, the price was maybe 30 cents or something. That kind of was like a tipping point with a lot of students, because they felt like they had no say in what the cost of any of their food was.
Pioneer had signed that contract back in 2011 and just recently renewed that contract. However, back in 2011, there were a couple students who weren't going to take those price changes lying down.
It was frustrating because students wanted to have a say in the signing of that contract, especially if it was going to be increasing student fees and tuition. And so that was a particularly frustrating moment for a lot of students, where it kind of made them realize, hey, the administration is making all these kinds of decisions. They're already operating very overbearingly in our own personal conduct, how we spend our time watching movies and playing video games, and how we can choose when to dance and all these kinds of things.
Aaron Morrison and 3 of his friends had just gotten out of a leadership class when they saw the sign indicating the price increase outside of Wildcat. According to Morrison, they all agreed they should do something about it.
We each had our own assigned roles, and my role was to make the Facebook event for Occupy Wildcat. We went back to our respective dorm rooms that day. I made the Facebook event. And as soon as I had made it live, within about an hour, I started getting messages from the 3 other guys who were the original planners. And each one of them said, hey, I cannot be a part of this protest because it could potentially impact my employment. And then there was just me. And at that point, I realized I was in a catch-22 situation. I realized from a public relations standpoint, I had screwed up, because it was the Facebook event was already live. It was too late. Lots of people had already seen it on campus. So I decided to go through with the protest at that point.
Student government president Aaron Morrison started Protest Occupy Wildcat to show Pioneer College caterers that students want to be heard. Senior Adam Fike is already upset Pioneer overcharges him for lunch and sometimes chooses a different route.
I know I can go off campus and get food a lot cheaper than what I pay for on campus.
Students like Fike were upset when Pioneer started charging extra for a slice of cheese. Spectrum News asked Pioneer officials for comment on the policy change, but our requests for multiple interviews were denied.
Ben Middlecamp was the one to originally write about Occupy Wildcat back in 2011, and he even got an interview with former IWU president Henry Smith.
Sometimes someone asks for something to change and it doesn't change, and the response is, "You're not listening to us," Smith said. Sometimes the answer isn't that we aren't listening, it's that we're not going to do it.
But Pioneer has already responded to the protest.
The cheese price sign that used to be there has already been taken down by Pioneer today.
That is exactly what Morrison and company wanted from Pioneer. Even though not every student agreed with the protest, it was the first real step to students taking action. Wildcat Express is not the focus of the protest, but Occupy Wildcat participants stood outside for 5 hours. Those who wanted their voices heard got the results they wanted and could be the start of something new. For Spectrum News, I'm Brian Kokalis.
While the sign was taken down, the prices did not follow suit. The price of cheese is seemingly a silly thing to protest over. However, Occupy Wildcat was more than just about the price of cheese. It was about students having a voice in the changes that affected them here at IWU. For Amplify Media, I'm Bryce Crossman.